I know you've heard the saying, time is money, but have you ever sat down and thought what exactly that means? Like, time is valuable, but I wouldn't say the value of time is equal to money because time is something that's limited. It's no matter what you do, is no way you're going to be able to add more hours to the day. But on the other hand, money is unlimited. The government is printing money basically every single day. So this is something that you can get more of. So to compare something that's limited, thinking about time, to something that's unlimited money, I wouldn't say time is money. So that's what I want to do today. I want to break that myth that time is equal to money and actually let you know where that mindset came from and also how to change your mindset. So, but before I actually do any of that, I do want to first introduce myself. My name is Jelan Abrams, and it's the Unknown and Talented podcast. So, where does this idea come from that time equals money? It comes from our parents. Our parents are the people that actually teach us about money. A lot of times, our habits when it comes to money comes from the habits of our parents because we don't learn about money in school. Think about your education, all the way from grade school to college, if you got your master's. How many times have they talked about taxes? How many times have they talked about credit? How many times have they talked about investing? These are things that everybody needs to do, but we don't talk about it. We talk about parallelograms, what's the square root of 27, all these things that we don't use in the real world. And then now when we get out to the real world, we don't know what to do. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and people talk about, self-help and financial literacy, and all of them have one thing in common. The minute they went to college, they were sold credit cards, they bought the credit cards, didn't know, and screw up their credit. It's because they never learned about money. Their parents didn't know about money. They didn't learn it in school, so now they have to learn the hard way because the credit card companies know about money. So now you as an 18-year-old not understanding money, and now they say, hey, we can give you $1,000 for doing nothing. You don't realize you got to pay all of that back. I remember back in college when we used to get the refund checks. People are like, oh man, got my refund check. I'm about to buy some new shoes. I'm about to buy this. I'm about to do this. I was buying stuff too. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know about money either. I bought some new headphones for my 'cause I used to be a music producer back then. So I bought some headphones. Like, oh man, I got a refund check. I'm about to buy the headphones with this. I didn't realize this is something that we have to pay back. I didn't realize that was our money. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that we just got extra money. I didn't know this was our money that we're gonna have to legit pay back in years because we're not taught about it. We grow up as an adults and we're thinking we're just supposed to know, and we're not supposed to know. We're supposed to actually learn. And this is where that mindset of time is money comes from. It's because people are just looking at time as something used to make money, which is, yeah, partly true, but that's not the only thing. Also, as growing up, you get that 9 to 5. You get your first 9 to 5. Now you're just working, and every time you're working, you're making money. So you're thinking about a 40-hour work week, you're getting paid a certain amount. You're just thinking the only time that's valuable is the time that I'm making money. If I'm not making money, it's not valuable. So that's why a lot of people will get into the habit of just working their 9 to 5, getting home, chilling, watching TV, because they're like, this time is not valuable. This is not the time that I need to be working on my self-improvement or, doing something that's going to benefit me, because the only thing that they see valuable is that time that they're working, which is not the mindset to have. So I was reading a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but it's definitely my favorite book. And something just told me just to start reading it again. And I read it again and I'm like, yo, this is very important because I know a lot of people don't understand money. And this book changed my mindset drastically about money. So Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book written by Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about his dad, which is going to be the poor dad, and his friend Michael's dad, which is the rich dad. So, as I said, you don't learn about money in school. So, this is the people that he learned about money from. His dad. So, his dad, the poor dad's mindset was get a good education, go to school, move up the corporate ladder, and making sure you're saving money. That was his mindset. So the cool thing about this is why I really like this book, is because when you think about poor, you think about somebody that doesn't have a lot of money. You think about his dad being someone just getting by. You know what I mean? But his dad wasn't someone that was technically poor in income, but he was poor in mindset. So his dad was extremely educated. His dad had a PhD. His dad was making money. It's not like his dad wasn't making money. His dad was making money, but he didn't understand money to learn how to actually keep it. Because he's book smart, he understands a lot of stuff. But like I said, we're never actually taught money. So his dad learned how to work for someone, but his dad never understood how to make money. Even in the book, he asks his dad, "Hey, how do I actually make money?" Because his friends at school, everybody was rich. He wasn't rich, of course, because his dad didn't understand money, but everybody in school was rich. And he was like, man, these people are calling me poor. What can I do to make money? And his dad couldn't answer the question. That's crazy. It's like my only answer to how to make money is to go to school, get an education, and that's how you can make money. But you did that and you're not rich. That's kind of crazy. So on the other hand, his friend's dad, Michael, was the rich dad. And he wasn't a rich dad because he made more money than his dad, but he understood money to actually know how to keep it. So his rich dad's probably most popular quote, well, my favorite quote anyway, is "I don't work for money, money works for me." Hmm. What does that mean? Okay, so we're gonna think about it in your lifestyle right now, right? You wake up 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever. You get yourself together, brush your teeth, shower, eat your breakfast, drive to work, get to work, drive back home, and that was your day. The only money you made was when you were in front of your cubicle, in the warehouse, in that retail store. That's the time when you made your money. So you were working for your money. On the other hand, people are using their money to make more money. So if you're a business owner, your money is paying these employees to actually do the job for you. If you think about, let's think about like the corporate ladder, for example, right? The people at the bottom is doing all the dirty work. They're doing most of the work. Think about your position you're in right now. If you have a manager on top of you, that manager is not doing the amount of work you're doing, but they're getting paid more than you because they're supervising the things that you're doing, right? And then that keeps going up the ladder. Every time you go up the ladder, they're doing less work. They're just supervising the people and making the decisions for the people that's going to be doing all the work. So that's what he means when he's making his money work for him, is because he's paying these people to do the job for them. So he's using his money to employ people to do the job for them. So his money is working, even though technically you have people working for you, but the money, you're using your money to pay these people to work. So instead of using all your hours in a day, just working hard and spending hours and hours at this employment place, you're actually using your money to make you money, which is perfect because, like I said, money is unlimited. You have a business. Let's think of like Walmart, for example. Actually, that might not be a good example because I don't know. Are stores even open up 24 hours anymore? I don't even know. Well, let's say Waffle House. I think Waffle House is open up 24 hours, right? Right? Okay. Let's just say Waffle House then. That was probably a bad example, but we're gonna say Waffle House for example. So the person that's over Waffle House, they're paying these people to work 24 hours. No, they're not. I gotta say that all over again. I'm keeping all this in here too. I'm trying to practice on my speeches, so we're keeping this in here. So let's think about Waffle House, for example. So Waffle House is opened up for 24 hours, right? The employees in there are not working 24 hours. But the person over that store is using their money to pay these employees to work, let's say 8-hour shifts. So you have, 8, 16, 24. So you have, 3 different shifts. So you're actually using your money to get your store to be running 24 hours a day. That's not the same thing. We can't do that as humans. We can't work 24 hours. So working for money, you got to stop at some point. So now that you're actually using your money to do it, now you're able to get more done because your money is going to be unlimited resource. So that's the mindset I want y'all to have. I want y'all to stop thinking about time as just something used to make money, because having that mindset, you're always going to be frustrated. You're never going to be fulfilled with having that mindset of just doing that because I want y'all to think about like your employer now, right? Think about your employer. You're working for this company and you're just using your time to make money. After a while, you're going to want more money. You're never going to stop wanting more money because you go through the week like, man, we're doing all this work and it's frustrating all this. And like, man, we're not getting paid enough for this job. We need to get more money, right? But every time you make more money, you start buying random nonsense. You know what I mean? It's like the more money you make, now I need a new car. Now I need some new shoes. Now I need a house. Now I need this. And then after a while, you're just stuck in that rat race because every time you make more money, instead of actually using that money for something that helps you escape that job or using that money to make you more money, you use that money to buy more liabilities. And I know you might not be financial literate. So a liability is something that is, I gotta get the definition. One second. Let me get the definition. So liability, a debit or financial obligation that an individual owns to another party. So basically what a liability is, in my words anyway, is buying things that are not going to make you money. So you might be thinking about, man, I'm making more money. Now I'm gonna buy myself a car. So now you have a monthly payment of paying these people every week or every month. So instead of actually using your money to make more money, now you're buying something to make you happy for the moment because you're stressed out about your job. You buy obligations because you're not happy. But the thing about it, that's not gonna make you happy in the long run. After driving that car for a month, you're like, man, now you're stressed out about the job again, like, man, I need more money. But you just got more money and you bought something that's a liability to make you happy for the moment. And that's what we have to get out of. We have to get out of that trying to be happy for the moment and think of the long game because we don't think about like delayed gratification. So these days we live in a microwave type of life. We want things quick. We don't want to wait it out and have that delayed gratification of getting that bigger prize. We just want things quick. So when I think about like microwave, you think about microwave versus the crock pot. I don't know if you ever heard this analogy, but microwave, you put it in there, let's say it's a TV dinner. You put it in there 5 minutes, take it out, it's hot, you eat it. A crock pot, you put the food in, it's going to be hours. You can have it 6 to 8 hours sometimes. But the thing about that crock pot meal is going to taste way better than that TV dinner. And also with that crock pot meal, that's a meal that you can share with other people. So if you think about your blessings that way, think about having a blessing that's super quick. That TV dinner, you can't share with anybody. That's just yours. And it's not even going to be really that good. Them TV dinners I used to have like the Hungry Man. My mom bought one time. She used to have lean cuisines. Those things never really were good. Those are just things like, yeah, we got nothing in the house. We about to just get it out the freezer, But thinking about that crock pot, I know when my mom put that first meal in that crock pot, she made soup. And I'm like, man, this is so good. I ate it. My sisters ate it. My dad ate it. My mom ate it. It's things that you can use for everybody. So that's what you want to think about when you think about delayed gratification. Your delayed gratification is because now the things that you get, you can use for everybody. Thinking about right now, we're probably all in the age of, let's say the 30s, let's say early 20s, 30s, or even 40s, even if you're older than that. But when you think about the delayed gratification, the things that you're going to be pursuing, the things that you'll be getting is be able to help your entire family. But if you just want something quick, that's just a TV meal. You just going to put that, you can't use it for nobody but yourself. And nobody else wants that. So you want to have that mindset of delayed gratification. So an example that I want to use for delayed gratification is going to be Jamal King. Jamal King is a part of the Secret to Success podcast with Eric Thomas. This is a podcast that I listen to every single week. So the same way you come here and listen to me weekly, I listen to them weekly for motivation. So Jamal King is what we call the 9 to 5 millionaire. He actually calls himself that because pretty much what he did is that he was a police officer. So that what he actually did with his checks, he didn't just use his checks and just purchase liabilities. He didn't just purchase a car, purchase a house, purchase things that are not going to bring him money back in. He actually used his money to build a real estate business. So he bought his first house because of the money that he had from his police job. And then after a while, he bought his second house. He bought his third house, his fourth house, to the point where he was buying so many houses and bringing in so much money, He forgot to pick up his work check. So it's crazy. Like you're thinking about getting that check and what you can buy so quick. He didn't think like that. He used his check to make him more money. So now the check that he was actually working for, it didn't even matter because his money was working for him. He always says he has his money in the bricks because that's what his money. His money is making him more money. He has a house now where he can have a tenant in there paying him a certain amount of money per month without doing anything. He already did the work. The work he did was working for the police company. And now he used that money to get into real estate. So that's what I want y'all to think about. Think about what you can do with your extra money. Because you have extra money. You getting paid unless you have your bills crazy, like you just bought a house, you bought a car, your payments are so high that it's over the amount of income you have. You have a bigger problem than that. You should actually be turning this episode off and you need to go talk to somebody to help you out because that's terrible if your money's like that. But you have money. I want you to legit look at your last 3 bank statements, right? Look at your last 3 bank statements and see what you're spending money on. You might be spending money on extra. You like coffee. Let's say you go to Starbucks. You buy Starbucks every single day before work. Instead of buying Starbucks every day before work, you could just go to Target or Walmart or something like that. Just buy the little bag of coffee, Starbucks coffee. And if you don't have a coffee maker, buy the coffee maker. It might cost a little more than that Starbucks cup that you have, but it's something that you can have and it's going to save you money over time. So legit look at your list of stuff that you're spending money on, and you're going to realize that you don't need that. You don't need that new pair of shoes. You might have to wait a week to get your hair done. Sometimes my hair be looking crazy. It's hard. It's definitely hard because I'm going to be on video all the time. And if you don't know, we have YouTube as well. If you're just a listener, we also on YouTube. But yeah, but yeah, it's hard because especially for me, I'm on camera all the time. So I want to make sure that I look better than not. But that's a sacrifice I have to make because I understand that if I'm just working and I'm just using my money just to buy liabilities, things that are not going to bring me income, you're just wasting your time. Now you're going to be stuck at a job for 45 years. And now when you retire, you don't have no money because you've just been spending money on liabilities your entire life. All right. You don't want to wake up 65 and now you retired your job. Everybody's celebrating. And now you got to go work at Walmart as a Walmart greeter. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that lifestyle. That's not the lifestyle anybody wants. So what you want to do now is once you're actually working for money, which is nothing is wrong with that. Work for your money, right? But use that money that you're making to make you more money. So you can get to a point where now you're not working for money anymore. And I have a few examples for you of, how to do this. So you might be in the mindset of, hey man, okay, thanks, Jelan. What I'm going to do, I'm going to save my money. I'm just going to throw my money in a savings account. That's not necessarily what you want to do. So you do want to save, which is good, but instead of just putting it in a regular savings account, find a high yield savings account. This actually changed my life the minute I found high yield savings account because I didn't realize that I was saving money, but I wasn't making any interest. Like those big banks, you might get 0.001% on your money, but you put it in a high yield savings account, you're getting 5%, which is way different. I didn't even know that was possible. So the reason why I found that is that I was reading a book called The Automatic Millionaire, which is a great book you need to read as well. But The Automatic Millionaire, basically his philosophy was automatically do things. So let's say you get paid on Friday. So instead of getting paid on Friday and you're like, man, I got to save, let me just put this amount of money in my savings account. You do it automatically. You want to schedule it. You want to schedule your savings. So pretty much what I did is that, okay, I didn't want to save a bunch because I didn't have a lot at the time. But what I did when I first read the book was I just put $25 into the high yield savings account. And this is automatic. So you're not even thinking about it. So the minute that money hits your account, you're not looking at that big money, you're not looking at that big number like, whoa, this is a lot of money. You're looking at just what you have and that bill is just going. So the same way those companies got you automatically getting paid, paying them on the 15th, getting paid on the 27th, that's what you're gonna be doing with your actually saving. So you kind of treat it like a bill. You treat it as something that I have to pay regardless. So that's gonna actually help you save because if you have to actually look at your account and say, man, should I put it in there? Your emotions are going to get in the way. And now you're not going to do it because you're like, man, I need this $25. I need to get a haircut. I need extra money to get my nails done. I need to, buy this new bag. So you're not going to do it because you're emotionally involved. So you want to get your emotions out the way and just have your logic. So set that up when you're not struggling. Don't set it up when you got $3 in your account. You're like, man, I need to set up this $25. No, set it up when you're logically locked in and you just automatically do it. It's going to help you save money. And then you look at that account, you're like, man, I got money in here, because it's something that you didn't think about. I don't want you to keep logging into the account every day and say, man, ooh, ooh, ooh. No, automatically do it. Forget about it. That interest is going to help. Another way to use your money to make money is invest. They have so many different types of investment accounts. Automatically do that as well. I used to be on an app where you can automatically invest into the company. So let's say you want to invest in McDonald's or Apple or Amazon. The $25 automatically went in there, automatically invested, and I was good to go. So do some research on that as well, because now that's a little more risky than the high yield savings account. You might be losing money, but over time, stocks usually go up in time, usually. So do your own research on that. And I'm not going to be telling you, what to do because I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm not giving you any advice to do it, but look into it, just using different avenues to be able to put your money in. So the next thing you do is invest in yourself. So actually, instead of investing in these companies that you don't know what's going to do, them companies could go bankrupt tomorrow. You honestly don't know. But when you're investing in yourself, you're not improving yourself. So, everybody's going to school, getting a 4-year degree, yeah. But like I said, you're not learning about money that way. So invest in financial literacy to learn about investing in other companies, to learn about how to start your business. There's so many people that actually are teaching that now that you can learn from them. So when you're actually trying to find someone to, pay to teach you how to do something, making sure that they actually taught other people and other people were successful. You don't want to just find somebody and say, hey, I was able to make 500,000 on Amazon drop shipping. Learn from me. That's not the people you want to go to. You want to find someone that not only was able to make 500,000, but it also helped someone make $100,000. It helps another person make, $50,000. They help somebody make $3,000 in their first month. Those are people you want to go to because they're going to be actually the people that's actually able to teach you. Because some people know how to do it, but they don't know how to teach you. So now you're going to be in a class where people are just giving you random information, what worked for them, and it's not going to work for everybody else. Find someone that has the examples. So the examples of other people making money, because now if you know it worked for other people, is if you actually listen and pay attention, you're going to learn as well. But you definitely want to pay. You don't want to just be on YouTube University all the time, because when you pay attention, because now you're invested. This is something that's like, man, I worked hard. Like you always say, I work hard for my money. I'm not going to be just paying somebody and just forget about it. You're going to be more locked in because you paid for it. But when you didn't pay for something, you're not really locked in. You're just listening and keep going. At one point, I'm going to start charging for my podcast to making sure y'all pay attention. I've been saying stuff weeks after weeks after weeks, and people don't be doing them. So make sure y'all do it. So the way you pay attention is when you pay your money. So my next point is to find money outside your job. So let's say your liabilities are super high and you don't have any money to do nothing. You're like, Jelan, I can't save. I can't invest. I barely got enough money to get by. I'm borrowing money just to pay my bills. So if you're in that point, you need to actually find money outside your job. And one thing you can do is find a side hustle. So find something that you're good at that you can help people with. So let's say you do hair, charge a few people to do hair to get extra money to be able to use to invest in something else. You do nails, do that. You want to look around your house and see if you have stuff that you don't need anymore, sell that stuff. I remember when it was one point in my life where I was watching Gary Vee. Gary Vee he's doing a bunch of different things, but he's I don't know if he's a motivational speaker. I don't really know what you call him. I don't know what you really call him, but his name is Gary Vee, Gary Vaynerchuk. So he had a video talking about, making more money. And he was saying people have things in their house right now that they just have sitting there that people will pay for. And I'm like, wait a minute. He might be right. So I looked around the house, see if I could find stuff that people will buy. I put it on eBay and put it on Facebook Marketplace. And then people were actually buying stuff. It wasn't like a lot of money. It might have been like $10, $15. But it was stuff that I had in my house that I'm like, man, I can use this money to do something else. I can use this extra money to invest, extra money to save. and that ended up turning into Amazon book selling business. So I was end up, buying, a few things. I used to go to the thrift store, the Goodwill, buying stuff there, reselling it. I remember I bought a I remember I went to a yard sale and I bought Monopoly. This is like the original Monopoly, still in plastic. I bought it for $5. I ended up looking on eBay. They was actually selling for $50. I was like, shoot, this is a steal. I still try to talk them down. I was like, man, $5, man, it's kind of expensive. This is the old Monopoly, right? You can give me a better deal. I think you can give me a better deal than that. But I ended up buying it for $5 and then I sold it like in 2 days on eBay, $50. So this guy didn't know what he had. He didn't realize that his thing he's selling for $5 is worth 50. So you might have stuff in your house that's worth a lot of money. Look on eBay, look on Facebook Marketplace, seeing what these prices are going for, and make your extra money. Use that money to not buy a liability now. We don't need new shoes. We don't need all this new stuff. We need to use that money to actually make us more money. So like I said, that business ended up turning into a book selling business because the more I did it, the more I was going to thrift stores trying to find different things. And I always saw people scanning books. And I'm like, what are they doing over there? And I learned how to scan books. Then I had a whole Amazon reselling book business because I just started looking for stuff in my house. So that's how I found money outside of my job. It was a point of time where I was making more money from my Amazon business than the actual job I had, which is, pretty impressive. So look at different things, different side hustles you can do to find that extra money outside your job. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what people will actually pay for, but you're gonna have to actually find it. Don't just be stuck in that job being frustrated, like, man, they need to pay more money. It don't matter how much money they pay you, you're still gonna be stuck if you have the mindset of, I need to buy more liabilities. And another thing you can do, you can be a content creator. Content creator, that's definitely a long-term game, but there are different ways to actually make money by being a content creator without even having a big platform. So this morning, which is actually kind of funny, I had a comment on, one of my older videos where I was talking about the 12-hour work week. If you've never seen that video, the link is here or there. I don't know. This thing be flipping. It's one of these. But that's a link to the video, the 12-hour work week. So I got a comment this morning and said, man, I'm about to buy this book. You should think about putting affiliate links or something in there. And I was like, that's a good idea. I need to be starting to put that's a way to make money because I don't even know if he bought it before I read it or not, but he said he was going to buy it, and I'm like, man, that's a good idea. So even though I don't have a super big platform, I can use affiliate links to make myself extra money. So as a content creator now, this is an ad, I guess. I don't know if you want to call it an ad or not, but now I have affiliate links. So I talked about Rich Dad Poor Dad. So you look in the comments, there's an affiliate link to buy that book, so you can study that book in more detail. And if you buy the book, I make money from it. So I feel like that's a cool way. You're a content creator now. You're talking about different products. You don't have to be a motivational speaker promoting, books. You could promote electronics. They have a lot of people on here that are, reviews. They're buying, the new DJI gimbal, and they're putting in the bio that they have, a affiliate link, and now people buy it and make money. So you don't have to have a super big audience as long as you're giving value and people are willing to buy stuff. You can make money off of other people's products. So that's what I'm doing now. Like I said, the affiliate link is in my description. So if you want to learn more about Rich Dad Poor Dad, click the link. And the next thing you could do in the meantime, let's just say like you don't have any extra money, is just educate yourself. Educate yourself on reading books. If you don't have enough money to click on that link to purchase the book, go to thrift stores. That's what I was doing. I was buying books from thrift stores and reselling it. And they're selling these books in there for $1, 50 cents for paperbacks, $1, probably $1.50 if you go to the Goodwill. But they're selling all these good books in there that people were, buying on Amazon for like $15 in these thrift stores. So just go to your local thrift store, look around. It's going to be the self-help section, and find a book that you actually want to read, and you'll be surprised at how many good books in there you found. Every book that I talked about in this episode was a book that I found in a thrift store. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It was a thrift store. Automatic Millionaire was a thrift store. 12-hour work week. All these books I found in a thrift store. So I paid $1 for each of them, 50 cents. It was a paperback. And I got education that way. So that's another way you can do. And also listen to podcasts. I would say listen more to podcasts. So my podcast comes out every Wednesday, once a week. I would definitely say find other podcasts. You need to be listening to podcasts at least, I'll say at least 5 times a week. At least listening to at least one podcast that's gonna be a motivational, educational, something. Because you're listening, you're driving to work anyway. My route to work is 45 minutes, which is crazy. So I'm actually able to listen to a couple podcasts sometimes. But you just want to be continuously feeding your mind to be able to get knowledge. So it's not all about the book smarts. It's about learning about money. Find podcasts that are going to be motivational, going to be talking about money. Find those podcasts, not just mine. I've been listening to, actually, let me shout out a couple I've been listening to. I've been listening to Secrets of Success. It's a great podcast. I've been listening to Anthony O'Neill, The Table, great podcast about finance. What else? What else? What else? What else? On YouTube, I listen to Myron Goldman. So that's not really a podcast, but that's YouTube education, very motivational, talking about money. So those are just a few things that, a few guys that I listen to, and it's really cool. So just find things that you're interested in. You might not like the same stuff I like to listen to, but there's going to be enough podcasts and education that you can actually get for free to be able to change your mindset to stop thinking about money and time as being equal, because they're not. And once you're actually making more money, you realize that you're not really creating more time, but you're giving yourself more time in that day. If you think about plane tickets, they're super expensive, right? Let's say you're going from North Carolina to New York. A plane ticket is going to be, I don't know the prices now. Let's just say $700 for that. You take a train from North Carolina to New York, that's going to be what? 20, I don't know. I don't know the prices, but just know, I don't know the prices. Just know the price for the train compared to the plane ticket is going to be a lot less, but the time it's going to take is a lot more. So when you have more money, you're able to actually buy your time back. Instead of wasting your time on certain activities, you can actually just pay someone else to do it. I think about me, my grass gets cut. This guy comes every 2 to 3 weeks to cut my grass. That's time I'm not outside cutting the grass. I don't got to be outside for 2 hours, 3 hours trying to cut grass. He comes, he has a riding lawnmower, he's in and out. Think about buying groceries. You don't have to go in a grocery store, spend an hour in there trying to find all your stuff. You can honestly just get it delivered to your house now. That saves you time as well. So there's so many things out there that you can just use your money to get that time back, which is beneficial. But what you want to do first is change your mindset of, I got to just work for my money. Find money out of your job, invest in education, and then now you have more money to leave that job. But that's not something you have to do first. You don't have to do that first. Use your job to make you more money. But once you make enough money, you got enough investments, you don't need that job, because now it's just time being wasted. So that's pretty much the episode. Hopefully, I was able to inspire, educate, make you laugh sometimes, but really want y'all to think about money different. Money and time is not equal. Time is way more value than money. Money is used to make more money. So I want to leave y'all with this quote. I don't work for money. Money works for me. And actually say it with me. Say it with me. I don't work for money. Money works for me. Okay? So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Again, my name is Jelan Abrams. The book I was talking about today, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's in the description. So you want to support this video, is in the description below. Not even supporting this video. This is all about your education. I'm here to help you improve your mindset. So the book is in the description. Read the book. I've been into audiobooks lately. So if you're into that audiobooks, you don't even have to, read the book. You can listen to the audiobook on the way to work, on the way to anywhere, on the way to the grocery store, anything you're trying to do, you can just listen to the book in the car instead of having to read the book, because time is important. You might not have the time to sit down and read, but you're going to have time to be in a car. If you have kids, man, I don't got no time to do nothing. Play the book for the kids in the car, instead of actually always playing rap music and all this other nonsense they have outside. Listen to a book, listen to a podcast, educate your kids because like I said, they're not learning about money in school. They're not learning about self-improvement in school. So your job is to actually teach them that. So that's what you can do. So while you're improving your education on different topics, show your kids exactly what they should be doing with their money, what they should be doing with their mindset. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Jelan Abrams, Unknown and Talented. We'll see you next week.